Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back at Bangers and Smash. I'm going to be joined by Bulldog here this evening. We're going to get things going in just about a minute and 40-some seconds here. It's going to be a great bout coming up. We've got the Magic City Misfits versus the Puget Sound Outcasts.
They're
going to be green and gold and yellow and blue. Green and gold is the Magic City Misfits. Blue and yellow going to be Puget Sound Outcasts. Did you want to run through the rosters real quick?
Well, I don't see why not.
I don't know if we have the paperwork. We can just read it up there, yeah.
That's right. So for Puget Sound Outcasts, we've got number 56, Bonus Jonas. Bowser is not skating. Number 64. We have number 55, Corporal Punishment. Number 19, Corey Payne. Number 2468, Dilly Dally. We've got number 247, Chuck Hollywood Hendrick. I think he's got. I'm not sure which name he's going by in this one. I don't know which one he has on his jersey tonight. But that's Chuck Hendrick, also known as Hollywood Chuck Hendrick, or Chuck Hollywood Hendrick, or
that's a mouthful.
Enough about him. Number 7, Lil Timmy. Number 23, Quadzilla. I'm sure that's a name most of you have heard of. Number 35, Rattleack. Number 14, Ryrod. Number 100, Scott Slamilton, also known as Scotty Slamilton. Some of you might know the reference. I don't think you would, though. No, of course not.
I don't recognize the reference at all.
Number 53, Speed Dealer. Number 4, Stand Aside. Number 11, Thunderstruck. And number 2, Vito Vidi Vici. All right. And why don't you run down the Magic City Misfits for us?
All righty. Looks like for Magic City, we've got... Well, actually, we're going to get right into the action here, Bulldog. We'll get you Magic City here in a bit.
Not wasting any time. Jeremy Strecker knocked out of bounds right off of the jammer line, and that is Scotty Slamilton, number 100, jamming for the Puget Sound Outcasts in the yellow. And he is going to try... He was trying to draw Jeremy Strecker back, but Jeremy Strecker having none of it. He is just standing around waiting for Scotty Slamilton to get in, but instantly comes back in and up the inside. He is also known as Streak, Jeremy Strecker, and he has proven it right there, just up the inside. The Puget Sound Outcast barely even saw him, and there he is on his first scoring pass, gets around Corey Payne. Oh, Dilly Dally manages to shove him out with a hip check, but Jeremy Strecker, the lead jammer, calls off the jam. Magic City first on the board with 2.
All right, I'm going to run through Magic Cities real quick. 0, Heath Frazier. 19, Jeremy Strecker. 2, Michael Bruce. 27, Michael Bratz. 4, TJ Binkley. 42, John Weekle. 44, Michael Cowart. 45, Jason Mosley. 5, Chuck Taylor. 6, Robert Howard. 69, Christopher Harrell. 86, Tim Kugler.
Kugler,
yes. All righty.
And we've got Michael Cowart, number 44, jamming for Magic City, but it is Quadzilla through the pack. He is lead jammer. First lead jammer for the Outcasts. Michael Cowart shaking off Speed Dealer, getting out of the pack. Oh, it looks like Thunderstruck going to the penalty box, so Outcast going to be down 1 blocker, 4-on-3 pack advantage for Magic City. Here's Michael Cowart powering his way through, gets around Speed Dealer again, but Little Timmy and Rattleack. Right now, Rattleack 1-on-1, but Michael Cowart just squeezes up the inside and puts 4 more on the board for Magic City. There's Quadzilla. He is still the lead jammer, but still on his first scoring pass. Now finally gets past Christopher Smith and Michael Bruce on the inside. Completes a scoring pass for 4, but Michael Cowart was right in there, and it looks like he did get, I believe that's 2 more points. We'll wait for the scoreboard update. We'll see if it goes up to 10 or not, but looked like the jam ref was holding up 2 fingers from here.
I believe that is the case.
Well, we'll wait. Right now it's only showing a... Oh, excuse me. That was 6 points. Sorry. It was 2 points going into the jam.
You're right.
Okay.
There were 2 more people on that list, but I'll get them in here before the jam. Number 88, Michael Dyer, and number 9, Christopher Smith, also on the roster for Magic City.
All right, and there's number 4, TJ Binkley, jamming for Magic City against number 2468, Dilly Dally. Dilly Dally just barely staying in bounds. Jason Mosley, number 45, came across with a shoulder check, but Dilly Dally just absorbed it and just kind of leapt, almost jumped the outside of the track, if that's possible. It isn't, of course. But, well, Not according to most laws of physics, but maybe there are some different laws going on. But 4 points so far for the Outcasts. Dilly-dally on his second scoring pass, but runs into a 3-wall. Christopher Smith, Jason Mosley, and Jeremy Strecker holding him back. And now Christopher Smith knocking him down, but going to the penalty box to join John Weichel. So Magic City with only 2 blockers on the track right now. And there goes Dilly-dally completing that second scoring pass for 5. And that's a 9-point jam so far, with TJ Binkley still on his initial pass. Knocked down, looking frustrated now. Now looking like he was in defensive posture briefly, but now starts moving forward again. Instantly knocked out of bounds by a combined effort of Chuck Hendrick and stand aside of the Puget Sound Outcasts. Now getting drawn way back, just meandering back. Stand aside, drawing him all the way to turn 1. But Dilly-dally. Now I don't even see it. Oh, I see. He lost his. Oh, and a big shoulder check from Jeremy Strecker knocks down Dilly-dally as he's trying to retrieve the jammer cover. Only the person who was the jammer at the start can retrieve the jammer cover, except, well, also the pivot can, but I think that's only in the context of a pivot pass, although, it doesn't happen very often. And can you clarify that for us?
I actually believe that the pivot can recover the jammer cap in the case of a spill, but I don't have my rule book right here handy, or I'd look it up for us. But I believe that you were right in what you said there. So.
Well, I was in that case. I was wondering why the pivot didn't just pick it up and become the jammer, but
maybe
or possibly just pick it up. Well, it looks like the entire Outcast squad out on the track knew that the jammer cap had been falling down. They were standing over it. But, possibly just a little bit of a confusion on the part of the Outcasts in the yellow. But now Scotty Slamilton jamming. He's the lead jammer for the Outcasts. And Tim Kugler going to the penalty box. So it's going to be a power jam for the Outcasts. Scott Slamilton on his first scoring pass runs it to Robert Howard. Gets around Christopher Harrell, number 69. And Robert Howard slowing him down. But Scotty Slamilton fighting his way through. That's a grand slam. 5 points for the Outcasts on that first scoring pass. And Scotty Slamilton up the inside, gets around Christopher Harrell. And once again, Robert Howard, last line of defense, just gets a piece of him. But Scotty Slamilton through again, 10 points so far.
This power jamming was due to a cut by number 86, Tim Kugler from Magic City. Kugler. I apologize. I keep saying that wrong, don't I? I think I was saying it right earlier. I'm pretty sure.
All right, but that's another 5. So another big jam for Puget Sound. Scotty Slamilton putting 15 points on the board for the gentleman in yellow.
That's it. And the Puget Sound Outcasts want to wish a happy birthday to Kylie. And Grim from the Outcast dad sends his love, Kylie. Happy 20th.
That's right. That is Grim Streeper of the Puget Sound Outcast sending his love on his daughter's birthday. That's so sweet.
That is really, really sweet. We're at 32-12, Puget with the lead, 23:46 on the clock. It looks like the clock has stopped for a review, according to the scoreboard there. I don't see who's being charged. There it is, Puget being charged for that review. So we'll give a little love to one of our wonderful sponsors here of the 2013 MRDA Championship Tournament. 5-on-5 Magazine, WFTDA Junior Derby, Coaching, Rookie Help, Gear, Art and Media, and International Derby, all covered by 5-on-5 Magazine. And you definitely want to check them out. You can visit them at 5on5magazine.com. You know, and Double H heard that you were on the stream through Talk to MRDA on Twitter, Bulldog, and she says, it's really good to hear you, pound travel issues, pound flight delay jokes. It says nice of you to show up.
Oh, man, when you first started that sentence, I thought you were saying, yeah, and we're going to have to kick you off right now. No, I we all love Double H. We cannot. Who can say anything bad about Double H? Except possibly Bam Bam, but that's a different. Now I'm really getting kicked off.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I was gonna say you might want to stop right now. There's going to be some other Twitters coming through, I'm sure. You can send your comments or questions to us on Twitter. Hashtag #TalkToMRDA. That is the official way to talk to us. Also, the official hashtag for the tournament. Hashtag MRDA Champs 2013.
Okay, so we are still in the middle of an official review requested by Puget Sound Outcasts. We don't have the details yet, but we're monitoring right now, or hopefully get an update. But the situation right now, Tim Kugler, number 86, is in the penalty box as jammer for Magic City, and Quadzilla, the pivot for the Puget Sound Outcasts, is in the penalty box as well. So it's going to be a 4-on-3 pack advantage for Magic City, but they will be on the power kill speed dealer lining up to jam. There he goes off the whistle into a 3-wall. We've got Heath Frazier and Chuck Taylor holding him back briefly. Looks like Christopher Smith going to the penalty box for Magic City. That's going to even up the pack to 3-on-3. Still on the power jam for speed dealer. But here comes Tim Kugler, and now it is 3-on-3, both jammers on the track, but Speed Dealer on his first scoring pass, Tim Kugler on his initial pass. And there goes Speed Dealer through the pack and completes for 5. But Tim Kugler through the pack pretty easily. Corey Payne, Rattleack, and Thunderstruck unable to keep him in, and there goes Speed Dealer calling off the jam. It's going to be a 5-0 jam for the Outcasts.
Very nicely done. We did get the information about that official review there. They were disputing the cut call on number 86, Tim Kugler, and the call stands.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the scoreboard originally, we thought, okay, that explains it. Okay, the scoreboard has been updated. That official review was actually charged to Magic City. Originally, it showed it was being charged to Puget Sound, but they did correct that. It was a Magic City official review. Their one official review of this half. And there goes Chuck Hendrick jamming for the Puget Sound Outcast. He is lead jammer. Through the pack, Michael Cowart, number 44, getting out of the pack as well, completing his initial pass. And we've still got a 3-on-3 pack. Chuck Hendrick just brushing aside TJ Binkley and gets around Jason Mosley to complete. He gets a back block. So he knocked him aside, but got a back block in the process. Now power jam for Magic City. Michael Cowart dodging around, stand aside, runs almost through Quadzilla, but Quadzilla not able to stop, not able to nudge him out of bounds. Michael Cowart staying in, completes the pass. I believe that was 5. And now on his second scoring pass. This time Quadzilla gets a solid position in front of him. He is backed up by number 56, Bonus Jonas, and number 20. No, Quadzilla is number 23. Stand aside, dropping back to Bridge. Corporal Punishment now moving forward to Bridge, and Quadzilla dropping back. It's 1-on-1. Bonus Jonas, but Michael Cowart does a spin move around, completing the pass. 5 more, 10 points, and they are quickly narrowing the gap with Puget Sound.
They are. This has been some amazing gameplay happening here. Magic City really making a good comeback during this power jam. Looks like we just had a star pass happen. It was successful. So now the jammer becomes Jeremy Strecker, and he is working his way through. Takes a giant hit from Quadzilla there down, but able to come right back in because Quadzilla went out.
Great defense by Outcast. Every single one of the blockers for the Outcast got a piece of Jeremy Strecker as he was going through, finally knocking him out of bounds, but he did come through clean, completed the scoring pass, now coming through on another scoring pass, but Chuck Hendrick back in the action out of the penalty box, and time runs out on the jam. Looks like Chuck Hendrick does complete the pass, gets all 5 points, but Jeremy Strecker putting another 3 on the board. I think Magic City won that jam and narrowed it to a 12-point lead for the Outcasts.
Talk about some excellent footwork happening there, and it's 12 points separating the two teams. Magic City really making a strong comeback here. This is what they want to do before time gets too far away from them.
And it looks like I was just passed to, it was an 18-5 jam for Magic City. So a big jam, plus 13 points for the guys in green. Now we've got Scotty Slamilton, number 100, leaning his shoulder into John Weichel to get around John Weichel, Michael Bruce, and Robert Howard. All 3 of them were triple teaming him, but he did get through for lead jammer. But there goes Michael Bratz, first time jamming in this game, number 27 for Magic City. Scotty, he catches up to Scotty Slamilton. Scotty Slamilton trying to call off the jam, but the referee, I don't think the referee saw him in time. Oh, but that could have been painful. That was Michael Bratz getting into the pack on a scoring bass, but it ended up being a 1-to-1 jam. Michael Bratz only able to capitalize 1 point on that slow response. That referee did not see him, and that sometimes that happens.
And that does happen, and you know, there's a lot going on out there. There's a lot of voices talking and stuff. It's easy to get distracted. Ringster is sponsoring the MVP trophies for this tournament, and they're also the Jamline sponsor. Who's out there on the Ringster, or who's jamming for us this time out there?
Quadzilla number 23 jamming for the Puget Sound Outcasts. And it looks like Tim Kugler going to the penalty box as jammer for Magic City. Number 86 gets a cutting the track, and it's going to be a power jam for Quadzilla. He's already on his first scoring pass. Looks like John Weichel, number 42, with Magic City in the penalty box as well. So a 4-on-3 pack advantage. Now it looks like, are we allowed to say they're doing the sausage in men's derby, or is that too provocative? I think me talking about it in that meta language might be too provocative. But, yeah, they're playing passive offense. Puget Sound Outcasts are. But Heath Frazier, number 0 for Magic City, trying to hold on to Quadzilla, but Quadzilla gets all the way through. 5 points for the Outcasts.
That's right. The notorious RED penalty box has a few people visiting it here and there, but overall, really clean skating happening here as Quadzilla comes back into the pack. Magic City's going to go all the way back up to 4 blockers on the track, and Quadzilla fighting at the front of the pack there. Going to go ahead and seize his bench, signal to call off the jam. Going to get out of that jam as they saw number 86, Tim Kugler, stand up in the penalty box.
That's right. Well, that was number 0, Heath Frazier, and number 9, Christopher Smith, with some strong defense against Quadzilla and holding the Puget Sound Outcasts to just a couple of scoring passes, really shutting down that power jam. Doing a great job.
That's right, and this has been some really exciting derby. I'm going to go back to the action. Speed Dealer jamming for Puget Sound Outcasts and really driving that pack forward.
But interesting, Tim Kugler coming out of the penalty box and opting to come out in the front of the pack, the far front of the pack, which is allowed, but he will be on his initial pass. It's effectively the same as, he basically gave himself the maximum distance to come around to start his first scoring pass.
We've actually seen this a lot in this tournament where they're taking the long way around as opposed to going back and going in behind everybody. They're just going the long way around. I think it was probably because earlier on we saw the referees call an illegal entry call, and they just want to really avoid those illegal entries, so just take the long way around and catch up to the pack. It also gives you an opportunity to pick up some speed.
All right, well, number 44, Michael Coward jamming, and that was the first scoreless jam. We have, but right now we have Michael Coward looking to end that 1 jam streak. Oh, Scotty Slamilton going to the penalty box, so we're going to have a power jam for the Magic City Misfits. Michael Cowart approaching the pack on his first scoring pass, gets right in, squeezes past Thunderstruck, and gets around Ryrod, number 14, I believe.
That was
Ryrod, 14, yeah.
That was a cutting the track penalty that happened to make this power jam go, and so Magic City now has a real good chance to catch up to Puget Sound, and they're going to capitalize on that. Another 5 points going on the board for Michael Coward.
And once again, Ryrod and Bonus Jonas trying to stop Michael Coward, but he gets through again. Now on his third scoring pass, Chuck Hendrick makes contact and knocks down. It looks like he might have knocked the wind out of Michael Coward. He dropped to his knees, and his head was down as he was calling off the jam. So it looks like no points on that third scoring pass. So a 10-point jam for Magic City.
Well, and I don't know if they make anything for those kind of hits where, especially for guys, we want to fold ourselves up. But Pro Design Pads can certainly help you get your own customized pads, and they're the official sponsor of the announcer table. Be sure to check them out. They'll take your measurements and get you all set up with your own set of customized pads.
And 19 versus 19. Jeremy Strecker, the jammer for Magic City, getting knocked down by Corey Payne, number 19 from the Puget Sound Outcast, and once again knocked out of bounds. But Jeremy Strecker comes back in, runs into Quadzilla and Corporal Punishment. They move him to the inside, a solid and impenetrable wall. And now Jeremy Strecker holding his face, might have gotten a little bit of shoulder to the nose, but that was I believe him running into the shoulder as opposed to the shoulder being initiated to the nose. Looked like it might have given him knocked his head back, maybe made him see stars a little bit, but he's forging ahead. Now, critical to that, it is illegal to initiate to the head, but if the head initiates to you, that is not a penalty against the blocker. Jeremy Strecker just getting an unfortunate contact. And now Scotty Slamilton knocking him to the inside, and Jeremy Strecker just not going to try and hug the line. He just crosses right over, comes back in, gives Scotty Slamilton a wide berth, but Scotty Slamilton comes across with a shoulder check, and Jeremy Strecker had to hit the deck to avoid getting a technical cut as he came back in and called off the jam. Looked like he was making snow angels on the track.
That or trying to swim in a waterless pool there. that was pretty awesome. Almost in turn 2. And hey, while we're talking about turn 2 skate shop, all the action is at turn 2, as you just saw in that last jam. turn2skateshop.com.
Okay, but it looks like he is holding his nose a little bit sore, possibly. But such a tremendous skater. So agile and quick. But the Puget Sound Outcasts definitely had his number in that jam, holding him back. And there goes Speed Dealer, the aptly named jammer for the Puget Sound Outcasts, one of the fastest skaters in men's derby that we know of. Of course, Jeremy Strecker, another one of the faster skaters. But Speed Dealer definitely has a size advantage over Jeremy Strecker. He's got about at least a half a foot of height on him, and that gives him a lot of mechanical advantage when he comes in with a shoulder check. And there he goes. He's one of those jammers that's really fast, but he can make his own holds. I love to see jammers that can block as well as they can skate.
Absolutely, and that's going to take the score a little further apart after that last jam. We're 48-57. Puget Sound still holding on to that lead with 12 minutes and a half left in this period. The original over the skate... the original over the shoulder roller skate holder, not over the skate holder. Bruce Skate News, visit them, Bruce Skate News on Facebook, and get yourself one if you don't have one, or buy a present for somebody.
And it looks like we have a scrum right now. Tim Kugler, number 86, jamming for Magic City against Quadzilla, number 23. The Outcasts in the yellow, Magic City in the green. But both jammers at the back of the pack. Little Timmy coming across, but Tim Kugler able to find an open inside lane and gets out first, gets lead jammer. Quadzilla running against a 2-wall. It's a Chuck Taylor shoulder him out of bounds. Jeremy Strecker knocked out of bounds. He's got to come back in and just comes across the track. Barely catches Quadzilla, but Quadzilla just leaps across a little bit of the infield to stay in bounds, to stay legally in bounds. He jumped and landed in bounds. But Tim Kugler did get all the way through, gets a scoring pass of 4 points, didn't get that 5th point, although Quadzilla was still on his initial pass. But that brings it to within 5 points with just 11 minutes left in the half. So still plenty of time for the Magic City Misfits to turn around in the first half.
Absolutely. It was looking like Puget Sound was just going to get in there and blow this game away. But Magic City got their head in the game quickly and made a really strong comeback. It looks like we are going to a team timeout. It is going to be a Magic City team timeout. Oh, but I'm not sure. It may be a Puget Sound. No, it is Magic City this time, for real. Just from the earlier scoreboard confusion, I want to make sure we were on that. Magic City calling a timeout. Possibly because they're so close, they want to discuss some strategy for making a lead change happen, maybe getting some points on the board to put them ahead of Puget Sound.
Yeah, it did seem like it was a situation where if someone was going to call a timeout, it might be the Puget Sound, because like you said, they looked like they were dominating the game for the first 10-15 minutes, and then Magic City just came in, and it was only a couple of power jams. I think actually at this point, I think Outcasts still have like 1 or 2 more power jams than Magic City did. But not a lot of power jams. So it's really just been, Outcasts jammers were just tremendous in the first half of this period. But Magic City just kind of found their feet, found their rhythm, And now they're starting to get their jammer out of the pack and contain the Outcast jammer. Now we got Scotty Slamilton, number 100, but he just slices right up the center of the pack. Michael Bruce, number 2, was the last line of defense, and Scotty Slamilton just bowled him over. Michael Cowart in the back gets knocked out of bounds by Corey Payne, but Corey Payne steps out of bounds as well, and that allows Michael Cowart to come back in. But here comes Scotty Slamilton on a scoring pass. Michael Cowart still in the pack, so potential 5 points right here. Scotty Slamilton dodges to the inside of TJ Binkley, gets out of the pack, and a little hip bump from Bonus Jonas to Michael Cowart, but Michael Cowart brushes it off, gets out. But that is 5 points for Scotty Slamilton of the Outcasts, and Michael Cowart unable to get on the board this time.
And speaking of power jams that you were bringing up, it's actually been 3 power jams for Magic City, 2 for Puget so far this game. You know, I'm looking at the Ringster stats here. Not a whole lot of penalties going out there. You know, the notorious RED penalty box is getting some skaters sitting in it, but not a whole lot, not as many as we've seen throughout the earlier portion of the day.
Okay, so clearly I'm losing my mind. I think it was, I think it was just I saw a couple of jams where it must have been the Magic City jammer starting in the penalty box, where they got the power jam across a couple of jams, whereas Puget Sound has been contained within the jam, so they got back out before the end of the jam. I think, but you know, then again, I could just be losing my mind. But right now, Michael Bratz going crazy out there. Yeah, he's number 27 for Magic City and speed dealer number 53 for Puget Sound Outcasts. Both jammers approaching the pack, and Michael Bratz going to call it off. That's going to be our second scoreless jam of the game.
And shout out to Alicia Duke. It's okay when it's a Derby tournament weekend to stay up past her bedtime. She says she's been gripped by this bout. It's keeping her up well past her bedtime. Thank you for sharing, Alicia. If you want to share, you can visit Twitter and use hashtag #TalkToMRDA. We'll be using that hashtag all weekend to talk back to you, our audience, watching on WFTDA.tv.
And a sneak attack from Dilly Dally. Only 2 blockers on the track for Magic City. And Dilly Dally just finds a wide open inside lane. Tim Kugler running one-on-one at the back of the pack with Bonus Jonas. Yeah, he gets to the outside. Bonus Jonas follows him all the way through the pack. Oh, no, excuse me. Thunderstruck. Bonus Jonas going to the penalty box. That's going to drop the pack advantage to 3-on-2. But corporal punishment. No, sorry. Dilly Dally, number 2468, gets through the pack. It's going to be 1 scoring pass for the Puget Sound Outcasts. 4 points.
Nicely done. Magic City really making Puget Sound have to pay attention during this game. I mean, and we're seeing Puget Sound getting back into this, and they've like, we're not going to let Magic City run away with this, putting some more points up on the board. Magic City not going to give up the good fight, though.
Number 100, Scott Slamilton. Up at the front, TJ Binkley knocks him down. But this time, Scotty Slamilton dodges around him. Yeah, gets through the pack. TJ Binkley unable to stop him. It's lead jammer for Puget Sound Outcasts. Michael Cowart, number 44. Oh, almost. Well, I'm waiting for the referee. Okay, did not get the cutting the track for just a second. It looked like he was going to get. There was a whistle blown and it looked like it was against him, but no, he is free and clear coming in on his first scoring pass. But 4 points already on the board for Scott Slamilton. Heath Frazier dropping back, number 0. Now he's teamed up with Heath Frazier, number 0, number 9, Christopher Smith, and who is that on the ground? That's Jeremy Strecker, number 19. Could not get a clear angle on him, but they were able to slow him down. But he does get 4 more points for Puget Sound.
It looks like Puget Sound holds a slight advantage with lead jammer calls. 10 of 15 jams with lead jammer. Puget getting the lead jammer call. And the score certainly reflects that for him with a 23-point lead on the board. As we go into an official timeout.
Okay, and they're going to the penalty board. It looks like they're trying to make sure that the penalties are all up to date. One of the most common reasons for an official timeout. But Puget Sound over there huddling up. They're taking full advantage of this windfall timeout, working their strategy together. Magic City already out has their lineup already out on the track, establishing position. But Puget Sound with two blockers in the hole. So, yeah, it looks like Corey Payne and Quadzilla are the only 2 blockers for the Outcasts. In the yellow, Speed Dealer number 53 jamming. We've got Magic City number 27, Michael Bratz jamming. Trying to move up straight up the center. Quadzilla running into Robert Howard. I'm not sure if he even knew he was in front of Michael Bratz, but he did make contact right there, but Michael Bratz just barely stayed inbounds and gets out for lead jammer. But look at that, Speed Dealer getting out. So both jammers making their way around. Speed Dealer pouring on the speed and narrowing that gap very quickly. And look at that, Puget Sound Outcast. That's Bonus Jonas and Quadzilla moving to the front of the pack and forcing the call. We're helping Speed Dealer force the call off.
That's going to put us at 79-56. Puget still with the lead. 6 minutes left in this period. I see, and I'm going to mess this up, I'm sure. Una O'Flattery on hashtag talk to MRDA says, God, Derby scores. Why are you so close when I've got to be up for work in under 5 hours? I'll tell you what, if you miss a bout and you want to see it, you can get DVDs. Info at cornstalkers.com. $10 for a single bout, $25 for a whole team, and $50 for the entire championship.
All right, now we've got Dilly Dally and Chuck Hendrick, the only 2 blockers on the track, but number 86, Tim Kugler, able to get out for lead ahead of Scott Slamilton, but Scott Slamilton just that quickly catching up to him. Only 1 or 2 strides. Oh, Tim Kugler somehow, I think that's a skateboard move. I don't know what it's called. That's how lame I am. But I mean, he actually, I think, just brushed the back of who was that? I think that was Stand Aside, but just leapt over him and managed to get inbounds. Almost like that was like a parkour move around up the inside.
Absolutely, that really did look very parkour there, and amazing, amazing that I don't really even know what to say there.
Tremendous agility from the Magic City Jammer, and that brings him to 21 points behind Puget Sound Outcast. Jeremy Strecker knocked to the outside by Quadzilla. Quadzilla dropping back. He's going to play the Jammer card. He's not going to let Jeremy Strecker get back in. And it looks like he's content to just wait out Jeremy Strecker. So now everything grinds to a halt. And this is 100% going to the advantage of the Puget Sound Outcast right now, because Corey Payne's still in the penalty box, and there it is. Now Quadzilla, just by that tactic, was able to get both of the Puget Sound blockers out of the penalty box. And now, I mean, Jeremy Strecker is just sitting there tapping his toe. He's like, come on, man. Come on. Let's go. And Quadzilla now lets things get started. Both jammers now on their initial pass. Keep that in mind. Michael Dyer makes first contact with Quadzilla. Now Heath Fraser goes across the track. He screens across. Quadzilla able to get out. Lead jammer Jeremy Strecker knocked out of bounds by Bonus Jonas, who almost goes out of bounds as well. But that didn't matter. Ryrod draws Jeremy Strecker to the back. Now Quadzilla on his first scoring pass, potential 5 points. Jeremy Strecker up to the front, and Quadzilla blindsides him, knocks him flat on his stomach, and gets through the pack. A grand slam. Jeremy Strecker definitely shaken up on that one. Look, it's almost shaking his head, trying to clear it. But Quadzilla into the pack. Second scoring path. Heath Fraser on the outside. In the center, Michael Dyer on the outside. On the inside, Michael Bruce. Jeremy Strecker up to the front. Oh, dodges around, stand aside. Bonus Jonas almost catches him, but finally completing his initial pass. Quadzilla is still on his second scoring pass and in control of the clock. Goes ahead and just waits the clock out, calls off the jam at the last second, and holds Jeremy Strecker scoreless. Going to settle for 2 points in that second scoring pass. That, I believe that is 7 points total in that. A lot of stuff happened in that jam.
Yes, there were some really big hits there. One we had in turn number 2, Michael Dyer, number 88, taking a hit almost into a speaker, and then as they came around in that same lap there, Quadzilla taking out Jeremy Strecker. Beautiful awareness, beautiful hit in turn number 3.
Yeah, well, interestingly, Quadzilla got both of his blockers out of the penalty box, but by the end of that jam, there were 2 blockers back in there. Corey Payne and Bonus Jonas cooling their wheels in the notorious RED penalty box. Now Chuck Hendrick and that's Dilly Dally. From here, Corporal Punishment and Dilly Dally look very much alike. But that's Dilly Dally, number 2468, out there on the track. But here comes Scotty Slamilton blasting his way through the pack. And number 44, Michael Cowart, trying to fight his way through, but Chuck Hendrick at the front. Oh, tries to get that last nudge. But Michael Cowart is going to call off the jam. Gets all 5 points. A grand slam for Magic City.
That's right. We want to show some more sponsor love. Wicked Skatewear, they provide lots of uniforms for lots of teams. They also have some really awesome apparel for Derby. Check them out, wickedskatewear.com. And also, don't forget the first, the best, and happy to fix the rest. It's Sin City Skates. Visit SinCitySkates.com for all your Derby needs. They won't sell it if they won't use it. Looks like we have gone to an official timeout, and it looks like maybe something got spilled on the track. I see Dubs from the Sioux City Derby Dames out there. A lot of Sioux City Derby Dames volunteering at this MRDA 2013 championship hosted by the Sioux City Cornstalkers. Dubs all done. She's up.
Now that could just be sweat. I mean, these guys are this is a slugfest out there on this track. I mean, both of these teams, you can see it in the score. I mean, that's 23 points. But Magic City Misfits for like the last 10 jams or so, it has just been Magic City Misfits clutching the belt of the Puget Sound Outcasts. They've been 23 points behind for a long time, put a lot of points on the board, matched by Puget Sound Outcasts. They have neither team giving an inch for the last 10 jams or so.
Absolutely, and neither team giving up the penalties that we've seen earlier that have given teams so many advantages. There are penalties happening, but not nearly as many, and certainly not nearly as many power jam situations.
And now we've got number 53, Speed Dealer at the front. Chuck Taylor gets contact with the shoulder, but Speed Dealer able to duck under it and gets out on the inside. Rod at the front, one-on-one with Michael Bratz, but Michael Bratz able to get through. Looks like Radillac going to the penalty box. Chuck Taylor for Magic City also going to the penalty box. So 3-on-3 on the track. Speed Dealer, he gets knocked out of bounds by Jason Mosley. He calls off the jam before Michael Bratz can get in there. So 4 points for the Puget Sound Outcasts. And just under a minute left in the first half.
That's it. And, you know, there are a number of skaters here that are on Men's Team USA and Men's Team Canada. You know, that also speaks to good choices by those two teams. You look at the score, you look at the gameplay out here. So lots of skaters in this bout on those two teams.
Starting out with a 4-on-3 pack advantage for Magic City. Tim Kugler, number 86 in the green for Magic City. It runs into Corey Payne and Chuck Hendrick. Oh, but dodges around the outside and out of the pack. Dilly Dally knocked down by Chuck Taylor, who just got out of the penalty box. And Gale steps out of bounds, gets a technical cut. That's going to make a power jam for Magic City. And this will be the final jam of the first half. The period clock has expired. So when this jam ends, that's the end of the first period. But Tim Kugler on a scoring pass, but repeatedly getting knocked down and knocked out by Corey Payne. But now just absorbs a shoulder check and dodges to the inside too quickly for Corey Payne to recover. And completes a grand slam for Magic City. 5 points on the board. Comes in a very sparse pack. Both teams picked up a lot of penalties. So 2-on-2 in the pack. And Jeremy Strecker, it looked like he was holding his wrist, or maybe he was just angry. He was kicking his feet, certainly, but another grand slam. That certainly worked out well for Magic City. That's 10 points on the board for them.
I see an official review being asked for by Puget Sound. Let's see if it's awarded. If it is, it means we'll get another jam before we go to the half.
Yeah, but of course, I mean, it could just be a freebie. They may just be kind of throwing that. I'm not sure what they might have called or what they might be trying to get changed.
Yeah, possibly just hoping for another jam, or I mean, obviously they're challenging something. You can see they're out there. Hands are moving fast. Looks like some questions being asked of the head ref there. Head ref giving some clarification back. Let's see what happens here. We have not officially gone to halftime yet. Scoreboard stands at 92-75. The period clock has expired, but we're waiting to see if we're going to the half, or if perhaps because of this official review there will be another jam.
That's right. Well, I think more likely they might be trying to require a penalty against the Magic City Jammer. Well, it looks like Kay Beasy, the coach for the bench coach for the Puget Sound Outcasts. She has multiple names, and I can't say the other one on the air. She also, she's one heck of a play-by-play commentator as well. I keep trying to get her on the mic, but she's doing so much in the derby world. She's a skater for her home league, and she's also the coach for the Puget Sound Outcasts, and she's also a coach for junior roller derby. So I can never get her on the mic.
That'll make you pretty busy when you're doing that. I'm gonna hop in and let Amy know. Amy Tate, yes, this is in fact Bulldog's voice you're hearing. You are not hallucinating. If you're watching it on WFTDA.tv, you're actually going to see his face in a minute when we cut back to us for the wrap-up when we go to halftime. And I want to also say thank you, Jeff the Rev. He's the one who gave us that fact about the Team USA, Team Canada players.
Okay, but like I was saying, they really had nothing to lose. They have one official review in the half. The period clock was expired, and so yeah, I mean, it may just have been, we might get something for it, we might not. But we have nothing to lose, so let's just go ahead and give it a shot. It doesn't look like anything's changed, though.
It would actually, the announcer ref sitting down there, that's the referee that you see in the middle that doesn't have any stripes on, says that Puget went out to contest a no-call low block. No call was made, and the call stands. So we are going to go to halftime with 92-75 on the board.
Okay, yeah, so Puget Sound thought a penalty should have been called. Presumably, well, it's hard to tell who it should have. They thought it might have been called against. But nothing changed, so the score is still 17-point difference between Puget Sound Outcasts and Magic City Misfits.
Alrighty, I mean, a surprising first half. Magic City really giving Puget Sound a run for their money. You look at the Ringster stats here, not a whole lot of penalties being given up on either side of the board. Only one skater really standing out with 4 penalties, Corey Payne, number 19 from Puget Sound. He's the only one up to 4 so far, and in every other game we've seen today, it's been more than one skater with 4 when we got into the half.
So surprisingly, yeah, it seemed like there were a lot more penalties, a lot more skaters in the penalty box, but I think that they mostly were concentrated in the end of the game that made it seem that way.
Looks like closest this bout got was within 5 points before Puget Sound started pulling away again. Let's see what happens when we come back from halftime. We're going to go ahead and take a little break. I'm Bangers and Smash. That's Bulldog, if you were thinking you were hallucinating the voice there.
I get that a lot.
You're watching WFTDA.tv. We'll be back.
Sin City Skates began in our Las Vegas living room in 2005, the first shop ever dedicated to roller derby, and has since grown into this 2,000 square foot mecca in San Diego, where we stock everything for our sport. Need help? With a combined on-track experience of over 24 years and still playing, we test everything we sell, and we're happy to share that experience and knowledge with you. So contact us, sincityskates.com.
Doc, and this is the Texas Roll 'em.
That goes to you.
They told us to just sell skates online. You won't have any overhead. Put some skulls in your advertising. You'll make a mint. That was never our plan. Our plan was to make a store where all day we are fitting skaters, fixing skates, teaching customers, and putting the best gear on their bodies. Before we put 3 W's in front of our name, we made sure we had hundreds of happy customers come through our doors. We're not just Derby owned. We're Derby dedicated. Fast Girl Skates.
Alrighty, it looks like we're back. I was busy playing with my papers over here. Got a couple of stats for you guys if you're keeping track here. Lead jammer going to Puget Sound 12 times during that first half, 9 times for Magic City. And penalty-wise, Puget with 4 more penalties than Magic City, 18-14 for penalties. And the score kind of speaks to the lead jammer and penalties happening there. 92-75 as we get ready to go into the second half, a minute 30 left. We're doing some gear checking. We're seeing some people jump on the track. And then we're going to get right back into it. If you want to join the conversation, you can go to Twitter and type something that's less than 120 characters and hashtag talk to...
At a time.
Yeah, and hashtag talk to MRDA. And if we're impressed enough, we'll read it out to you.
All right, but surprising. I'm actually kind of surprised at the relatively low number of penalties because I was just astounded towards the end of the first half.
All right,
and I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I'm looking at the Twitter feed. It looks like Derby America's asked a couple times, what is the unstriped zebra's job? So you see the person that goes into the zebra huddle that has no stripes on. They're the alternate ref, and what they're doing is they're actually down on the sidelines. They go in whenever there's an official review. They're getting information to feed to us so that we can tell you what official timeouts are about, because we're up on a balcony and we can't hear anything happening on the floor. So they're down there. Once they find out, they send us a Skype so that we can tell you what the official reviews were about. So I hope that answers your question, Derby America. Thanks for asking the question on hashtag talk to MRDA.
All right, but what I was saying is, I mean, a relatively only 18 penalties for Puget and 14 for Magic City. That's a relatively low amount, and as you were saying, only one skater with 4 penalties. That's only one skater that's halfway to getting expelled. 4 penalties, but I think most of those were in the second half of that period, and so now we start off swinging in a full penalty box, like I was saying. A lot of penalties late in the first half. But we've got John Weichel jamming, I believe for the first time for Magic City. Finally getting out, gets lead jammer Dilly Dally into the pack. Number 2, that's Michael Bruce, knocking him out of bounds. He has to draw back, but Michael Bruce stepping out, and Dilly Dally coming right in and completing that pass. That was his initial pass. John Weichel coming through the pack and trying to decide whether to call off the jam. Does so before Dilly Dally can get in there. 4 points for Magic City right off the bat, laying down the gauntlet for Puget Sound.
That is beautiful. The notorious RED penalty box slowly emptying out there, but we're going to have some blockers missing from the pack. Both jammers still up on the line, and we're going to tell you when we're up to 5-on-5, there's actually a magazine that'll help you with 5-on-5 stuff. WFTDA Junior Derby coaching, rookie help, gear, art and media, and international derby, all covered by 5-on-5 magazine.
And now Michael Cowart, number 44, jamming for Magic City in the green, and number 247, Chuck Hendrick, Hollywood Chuck Hendrick, jamming for Puget Sound Outcasts in the yellow. He is lead jammer. Michael Cowart now going one-on-one with Radelack. Radelack runs out of room, has to give it up. And Michael Cowart's out, but here comes Chuck Hendrick through the back, around the outside, wide open outside lane. Jason Mosley and TJ Binkley were distracted by the Puget Sound blockers. And it's going to be a quick 4 points for the Outcasts. They match those 4 points scored by Magic City in the first jam.
It's always nice as a jammer when your blockers are able to completely keep the other team from even noticing you're coming through the pack, and then you're able to just score those points. That was a beautiful job there done. It looks like Puget Sound going to be all the way back up to 5 on the track.
Scott Slamilton, number 100, jamming, slams right into John Weichel, number 42, but manages to stay in bounds and gets lead jammer. Number 19, Jeremy Strecker, forced out of bounds on the inside and comes back around, tries to go around the outside, manages to stay in bounds. Bonus Jonas thought he got him out of bounds and tried to draw him back, but Jeremy Strecker came right back in. But Jeremy Strecker just completing his initial pass, and Scott Slamilton getting through, gets all 4 and catches up to Jeremy Strecker, calls off the jam, does get a 4 and a 1, the referee was saying. So he got 4 on the pass and then caught up to Jeremy Strecker and took away that jammer point.
Managed to pull that point before he got out of the engagement zone. If you're loving what you're seeing here, remember that DVDs are on sale for each bout happening here. info@cornstalkers.com to get more information. You can get one bout for $10, the whole team worth of bouts for $25, and the entire champions for $50.
Number 44, Michael Cowart, jamming once again for Magic City. Number 23, Quadzilla, going against TJ Binkley and slices past him, gets lead jammer for the Outcasts. Outcasts in the yellow, Magic City in the green. Michael Cowart getting triple teamed by Thunderstruck and Rattleack. No, Rattleack and Thunderstruck double teaming and repeated shoulder checks, but Thunderstruck gets cleared out by Christopher Smith, and that allows Michael Cowart to get out of the pack. But Quadzilla completes his first scoring pass for 4, and now just pacing Michael Cowart. Michael Cowart approaching the pack, and now just drawing off time from the clock. Possibly a little bit early to be playing that strategy, but he calls off the jam, and no points for Magic City, and that's the outcome they always want regardless.
Absolutely, and you know, you did mention, it may be a little too early, especially as close as this game has come a couple times. It may not be the time to start running down the clock yet. However, with having the lead, it might make sense in the ultimate end to be draining that clock. So it's going to be hard to tell until we get further into this half of play.
Yeah, it's a preference call, you know. So they're feeling confident, I guess, and gonna play the clock strategy. Chuck Hendrick quickly up to the front, surrounded on all four sides by Magic City, able to batter his way through. Jeremy Strecker, the last line of defense for Magic City, but lead jammer goes to Chuck Hendrick. Michael Bratz, number 27, outraces Bonus Jonathan, stand aside to get out on his initial pass. Chuck Hendrick sliding around to the outside of Christopher Harrell. Gets up to the front, does not get past Jeremy Strecker, number 19. And 3 points. 3 points for the Outcast. Doesn't get number 19's point.
And you know, earlier when Quad kind of ran down the clock, might be a good strategy for Puget. Puget's actually had lead jam the last 4 jams, so if they're able to continue to do that and hold Magic City to 0, running out the clock is the best strategy for them to try.
That's right. Well, there you go, lead jammer, such a crucial position. I don't think I have to stress that. I think that's pretty obvious to anyone who's seen more than really 5 jams, right? Very important. Number 86, Tim Kugler, driven out of bounds on the inside, but also speed dealer, number 53. Tim Kugler going to the penalty box, so it's going to be power jam for number 53, speed dealer of Puget Sound Outcast. He gets around Chuck Taylor and Christopher Smith. Not able to catch up to him, so speed dealer is lead jammer. And Tim Kugler is told by the penalty box staff he has to make another lap. He passed that line of no return and had to do another lap before his penalty could start. So it adds about 10 seconds to his penalty. Speed dealer now on his first scoring pass, knocks down Chuck Taylor, who was inverted, slips, and that's going to be 5 points for speed dealer.
And that was a skating out of bounds penalty that was issued to number 86. And as we've seen already in this tournament, the referees really watching out for those skating out of bounds penalties. They're going to call them if it happens. If it looks to the referees like you're going to try to avoid a hit by going out of bounds, they're going to call you on that skating out of bounds. 5 more points on the board for Puget Sound. This power jam going to give Puget Sound a good chance to increase their lead. The jam going to come to an end. Another 5 on the board. Got a couple comments on Talk to MRDA on Twitter. One of our house announcers, Reject, says, tell Northwest Arkansas that Baby Reject says, hey, also glad that you made it, Bulldog. And I'm going to leave off the rest, although I appreciate that if you happen to listen to this later, Reject. And then Jeff the Rev says Bulldog needs more beard for this feat.
I have a beard deficiency. I've been told that before. But it looks like Puget Sound on a little bit of a scoring streak right now. They've held Magic City's all but scoreless in the second half. We've got Scotty Slamilton already lead jammer on his first scoring pass now. Tim Kugler started out in the penalty box, just completed his initial pass. Or actually, I could be mistaken. He might have done the come in front of the pack. I just saw him making his way around. Yeah, 4 points so far in the second half. Just confirmation. That's why I said all but scoreless, but 5 points for Scotty Slamilton. So in that one, and that was Tim Kugler's initial pass. He did come in from the penalty box in front of the pack, so he had to make that full lap. And now Scott Slamilton inverted, being held up by Jeremy Strecker. And look at that, there's some nice team sportsmanship between those skaters. A lot of respect for Jeremy Strecker and Scott Slamilton. Both tremendous skaters out there.
And that's really one of the things we've seen throughout the whole tournament. When the whistle has been blown off and we're in between whistles, all the teams treating each other with respect. The guys leave it on the track. That's pretty awesome stuff. Take a minute to give a little bit more sponsor love. Wicked Skatewear, if your team is in need of uniforms, they can take care of it for you. They've also got some great derby apparel.
But the notorious RED penalty box is empty right now. 5 on 5 as soon as I say it. There goes Thunderstruck to the penalty box. TJ Binkley jamming for Magic City gets lead jammer, I think only for the second time in the second half. If they've gotten it at all. Yeah, there it is. They did get lead jammer one other time before, but TJ Binkley on a scoring pass. But here comes Speed Dealer looking to match it. Runs into Heath Frazier and gets stopped in his tracks. No points for Puget Sound Outcasts, but got in there in time to keep Magic City to only 3 points in this jam. A total of 8 points in the second half so far.
That's right, and all of these teams playing to win, that is for sure. And also there's MVP trophies. I want to mention those MVP trophies are sponsored by Ringster, and so is the Jam Line. And tell us, Bulldog, who's out there on the Jam Line, the Ringster Jam Line?
Michael Cowart, number 44 for Magic City, against number 23, Quadzilla. Quadzilla leaning into all 4 of the Magic City blockers, and they are holding him back and forth. He is unable to make any headway so far. But now some help from the Puget Sound Outcast blockers and gets him to the front. But instantly Christopher Smith and Jeremy Strecker shut him down again. There comes Michael Cowart. He's already completed his initial pass. He's the lead jammer on his first scoring pass. Gets scared out of bounds. But Chuck Hendrick was not actually making a move towards him. So that was not skating out of bounds to avoid a hit. That was really more like skating out of bounds to avoid a glare. But does get up to the front. Or that's what it looked like from this perspective. But he gets knocked down, calls off the jam from the ground. 3 points for Magic City, but Quadzilla did manage to match one of those.
And we're ready to go again. The first, the best, and happy to fix the rest. SinCitySkates.com. Sorry, I just got really quiet there. I was distracted. I'm like, what happened? But we're back into the jam.
Michael Bratz, number 27 for Magic City, up to the front. Corey Payne dropping back to bridge. It leaves only Radulac, and Radulac runs out of room. There's Michael Bratz. He's the lead jammer for Magic City again. Scotty Slamilton driven out of bounds and drawn back by Christopher Smith, number 9. Now on the inside, Scotty Slamilton now in defense against Michael Bratz. I think the crowd was upset because it looked like Scotty Slamilton actually made some clockwise movement while he was holding back. He was positionally blocking Michael Bratz, and I think the crowd thought that he made some clockwise movement because there was an outcry from the stands, but the referees did not send him to the penalty box, so they have a better perspective on it than we do, or the fans do. And there are very technical boundaries for when that penalty is called.
Absolutely, and that's why you have your inside pack, you have your outside pack, and you have your jammer refs. I mean, that's 3 sets of eyes on the jammers when they're coming through and when it's a jammer-on-jammer situation. And we're going to get started again. Number 4, TJ Binkley up against number 2468, Dilly Dally.
And let me also just say that happened in the turn, and in the turn, clockwise becomes very easy for a legal block to look like a clockwise block if you don't have that inside the track position that the referees do. It looks like low block called on TJ Binkley. He's going to the penalty box, so now we've got Chuck Hendrick he's taken the cap from Dilly Dally, so he is now the point scorer, the in jammer position for the Puget Sound Outcasts, but gets ramrodded out of bounds by combined effort of number 5 Chuck Taylor and number 9 Christopher Smith of Magic City. Has to recycle, comes back in, but now comes in, just barely nudges Christopher Smith, who goes down, but that was not due to the force of Chuck Hendrick's impact by any stretch. You saw that smile on his face as that happened, and he batters his way through, gets out, completes the pass. Now knocked out of bounds immediately by a hip check from Heath Frazier, number 0 of Magic City. 4 wall. Now there goes Ryrod coming in. Chuck Hendrick unable to make any headway against that 4 wall, but Heath Frazier able to knock Chuck Hendrick out of bounds. Comes back in. Still the same 4 wall. Christopher Smith on the outside, number 9. Number 0, Heath Frazier in the center. And number 5, Chuck Taylor, finally knocking Chuck Hendrick out of bounds again. And look at that look of frustration on Chuck Hendrick's face. He is just getting nowhere against this formidable 4 wall of Magic City. But now TJ, that has completely shut down this power jam. He is on a scoring pass, but has not completed it, and TJ Binkley now completes his initial pass and is moving into position to match the points by Chuck Hendrick. Oh, but time runs out. Chuck Hendrick was not lead jammer. He could not call off the jam. And just by seconds, Magic City missed matching any of those points. So 4-0 for Puget Sound.
Absolutely, but you got to give some major props to Magic City's blockers that jam. I mean, you don't often see a power jam completely shut down when the other jammer serves the entire penalty time. But way to go, Magic City blockers, holding back Puget Sound's jammer during that entire power jam, and even getting your own jammer through so that he was eligible to score. It's unfortunate that he wasn't able to catch the pack before that whistle blew.
Yeah, but so far this is looking like an instant replay of the first half. You remember Magic City came out and won the first jam, and then Puget Sound just took off. It started gaining points, got a big lead, and then Magic City finally found their rhythm almost halfway into the jam. And here we are in the exact same position in the second half. Right now, they started out, I believe it was just under 20 points where we started the second half. Now they're up to a 50-point lead over Magic City. But in that last jam, he showed that Magic City is not out of this by any shot. They are a really strong team, have a tremendous skaters out there, and they're going to keep fighting. I suspect they're going to keep fighting right until the last second. Score differential be damned.
And I have to tell you, we saw that earlier with Magic City in their earlier game. Magic City definitely wants to be here, wants to take this game. Let's see if they can do it as we get into this next jam.
Number 23, Quadzilla jamming, gets driven out of bounds by Michael Bruce. He steps out as well, but Quadzilla playing it safe. Comes back in well behind the pack. Michael Cowart at the back of the pack for Magic City, looking for an opening. Corey Payne inverted, comes across, but Michael Cowart able to dodge around, and Quadzilla takes advantage of the opening created by the Magic City jammer Michael Cowart to get through just ahead of him, steals lead jammer away, but Michael Cowart able to slip through as well. Now both jammers moving into scoring position. Quadzilla just ahead of Michael Cowart. Michael Cowart makes contact with Ryrod. May have got a point. Looking at the referee, no points for Magic City, 2 points for Puget Sound.
Puget Sound looking to continue to dominate and hold Magic City back from having, any chance to gain some points on them. 15 minutes down, 15 minutes left in this game. Give a little more sponsor love. Bruce Skate Noose, the original over-the-shoulder roller skate holder. If you don't already have one or two or 15 like some of my wonderful Derby friends, you should definitely check them out and get yourself one.
And number 53, Speed Dealer, jamming for the Puget Sound Outcasts against number 27, Michael Bratz. Both jammers neck and neck, but Speed Dealer actually shouldering Michael Bratz out of the way, and he's drawn back to turn 2 by stand aside, number 4 for Puget Sound. But Speed Dealer getting the same treatment from number 9, Christopher Smith, and number 6, Robert Howard of Magic City. Now, Speed Dealer up to the front, one-on-one with Heath Fraser. Heath Fraser screens across, but can't stop him with that hip check. Speed Dealer's lead jammer. Number 27, Michael Bratz for Magic City. Up front, stand aside, just almost manages to stay in front of him, but stumbles. But Michael Bratz getting a low block. So that's going to give us a power jam. And Speed Dealer now on his first scoring pass. Slips around Christopher Smith up in front of Heath Fraser. Robert Howard inverted, number 6 for Magic City. Runs out of room. Speed Dealer with a grand slam for Puget Sound.
That's it. And with the power jam going on, we've got the pack stopped in turn number 2. But we're actually seeing some offensive blocking happening, which is new for the tournament and in a lot of derby play. A lot of times power jams, you're going to see that passive offense. But no, these guys want to keep hitting each other. So that jam is going to come to an end. Speed Dealer done with trying to get through there. He does manage to pick up some points. The fingers are sideways for me. I can't tell how many exactly.
Well, the scoreboard now showing 147 for Puget Sound and 87 for Magic City, so an even 60-point lead with 13 minutes left in the game. So Puget Sound looked like they were a little bit on the ropes towards the end of the second half. Magic City coming up with a vengeance, but they came back in the second half, and so far they have just been dominating Magic City almost entirely.
Looks like Magic City with an official review. I'm not sure what they're challenging out there, but you can definitely see the discussion happening on the track. We'll let you know as soon as we know more from our announcer ref. While we're waiting, I'll go ahead and give some more love to Turn 2 Skate Shop. All the action in that last bout you saw, the pack stopped in Turn 2. So all the action is, in fact, in Turn 2. That's happened many times during this bout. Turn2skateshop.com. Visit them for your skate and gear needs.
That's right, but it could be that Magic City trying to spring their jammer, because right now in the notorious RED penalty box, all by himself, it is number 27, Michael Bratz, with the Magic City jammer cover.
I'm going to say we did get a comment on hashtag #TalkToMRDA from Emma B. She says Heath Fraser has a very shapely derriere. And she actually said something different. If you want to see it, go to Twitter, hashtag #TalkToMRDA. Check it out. You can also join the conversation. Just use hashtag #TalkToMRDA all weekend long.
All right, but Quadzilla, number 23, on the ringster jammer line, all by himself on the power jam. So I didn't see anything change. So obviously probably that official review was overruled. Quadzilla now facing once again a tenacious. That's a very tenacious Magic City blocker squad. They are on the power kill, but Quadzilla able to get through. That he is now lead jammer.
So that official review, they were contesting the low block call. The call ends up standing, so that is why we still have the power jam for Quadzilla, who gets taken to the outside, recycles back quickly, now looking to get through that Magic City wall. There is no passive offense here. The Magic City blockers are going to lay all over Quadzilla. They don't want to give him a chance to get through and make some easy points.
That's right. So yeah, Magic City was trying to spring their jammer, but he actually only had about 20 seconds or so left in his penalty anyway. So it wouldn't even give him that big of an advantage. But still, I mean, anytime you think your jammer's been sent to the box, that is such a crucial position, obviously, that you'll try and spring him regardless. Because 20 seconds can make all the difference in the world in a game like roller derby.
Absolutely, and Glenn Herr brings up a great point. Puget Sound, you'll notice the pink ribbons on their helmet. Props to them for wearing pink ribbons. It is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and that's what the pink ribbon is for. So thanks, Puget Sound, for supporting a great cause.
That was a quick 4 points for Quadzilla of the Puget Sound Outcasts, and now Scott Slamilton wearing the jammer cap for Puget Sound in the yellow. And there he is. That is Michael Cowart, number 44, the jammer for Magic City. Coming in, just bounces off of Corey Payne, dodges around Thunderstruck. And now gets lead jammer, calls off the jam in time to keep Scotty Slamilton scoreless. So that's no score in this jam.
And the official sponsor of the announcers table, Pro Design Pads. You've seen some really heavy hitting happening in this bout. If you want to make sure those pads are secure and fit directly to you, Pro Design Pads, visit them, fill out the paperwork. They'll make you some pads that'll fit you just right.
Just under 11 minutes in the game, a 64, if my math is correct, 64-point differential. Puget Sound Outcasts ahead, of course. TJ Binkley, number 4, jamming for Magic City, dodges around stand aside, almost driven out of bounds by Bonus Jonas. Now stand aside, gets in front again, inverted shoulder check, but TJ Binkley able to stay upright. Bonus Jonas almost got in front of him, but ran out of room. They were out of the engagement zone, and he wisely dodged out of the way. Now TJ Binkley for Magic City is the lead jammer. Quadzilla, the jammer for Puget Sound, in defensive posture, teaming up with Chuck Hendrick, but to the inside. TJ Binkley, a quick move, but Ryrod is there on the outside and drives him back to the rear of the pack with the help of stand aside. TJ Binkley, a look almost of defeat on his face, but you know what? He got 3 points on Quadzilla. So 3-0 for Magic City.
Absolutely. TJ Hinckley, a crowd favorite here today. Earlier in his earlier bout, you heard the crowd chanting TJ, and that's all about that fancy footwork he's got going on and when he's in the pack. You'll notice too, Bulldog, the notorious RED penalty box staying pretty empty during this half. These teams are really still staying clean. Hollywood out there, the one with the most penalties right now, standing at 5, but still no real threat of any fouling out yet.
Nice work by Tim Kugler and John Weichel holding back Speed Dealer. Now Tim Kugler makes contact again, but Speed Dealer finally, with a little help from Rattleack, number 35 of the Outcast, gets out of the pack for lead jammer. Number 44, Michael Cowart, repeatedly shouldered out of bounds by Dilly Dally. Now drops all the way back. Now I'm chuckling a little bit because he is looking very frustrated too. We saw that on TJ Binkley. I mean, we may be seeing Magic City starting to get frustrated, starting to have and possibly even have morale problems, because I mean I'm seeing a lot of head shaking and downcast eyes, and that can get bad. I mean that can infect an entire team. You know, we've seen them play with such spirit up to now, but now we're seeing I mean this is just me, by the way. I'm just spouting things about which I know nothing about.
Actually, we saw this earlier when Magic City was out in their previous game. They got into the game. The other team got ahead, pulled ahead. Magic City kind of let it get into their head, and you saw this drop off for Magic City that we're seeing again in this bout. Hopefully, they can do what they did and rally again and come back strong. It looks like, unfortunately, though, that they're going to give up a power jam. Michael Cowart going to the penalty box there for a cutting the track penalty. So we're going to start in the next jam with power jam. Looks like Meow Mix out there talking to the refs, and we've gone into an official timeout, perhaps questioning the cut call there for Magic City. You see there's a dazzle of zebras happening, dazzle being what you call a group of zebras.
All right, now this is an official timeout. I mean, that is the Magic City coach going out there and talking to the head ref. But, I mean, they have already used their one official review of the half. So this cannot be an official review. But she may have just, but it is the prerogative of the C and the A, as they say, to go out there and discuss things with the referees, but it just cannot be an official review for Magic City right now.
And I noticed that Puget Sound's coach has gone out there, and I wonder if she's questioning that. Hey, they've already had their review. What's going on here? Just to make sure that it's not an official review situation.
Well, that's also the prerogative of both. If one of the teams, C's or A's, goes and talks to the referee, it is the prerogative of the other team's captain or a designated alternate to go out there and listen in. There's no secret conversations with the referees. You know, you can't go up there and have little secret communications.
Oh, it is actually an official timeout, not an official review. That is confirmed.
Yeah, but now like I said, it looks like Magic City's two of their main jammers were looking so frustrated out there. I would be a little bit worried if I was the captain, and try and rally. Magic City's probably gonna try and rally, but let's see if they can do it, because when you start getting in your head, like you said, then you're gonna have trouble pulling out those numbers that you need, and really just pulling out that spirit that you need to try and knock down these Puget Sound scorers. We've got Chuck Hendrick is the jammer for Puget Sound Outcasts. Gets around Michael Bruce and Chuck Taylor, number 2 and number 5 for Magic City, and gets the lead jammer.
That's it, and Hendrick being the one sitting at 5 penalties, really going to need to skate as clean as possible. It takes a hit, falls down. It looks like maybe a head hit. He's down. He's going to crawl off the track just to make sure. He doesn't want to pick up any more penalties. Already being at 6 on the board.
And then we saw Michael Cowart, number 44, getting out of the penalty box. He's the jammer, comes in front of the pack again, and doesn't even make contact on his initial pass.
And I'm going to correct myself. It's actually 5 on the board for Hendrick, not 6. It would have been a 6th had he not crawled off the track. I think is what I was thinking. It's been a long day, and we're even here later than we were expecting with that fire alarm earlier today when we had to evacuate the building. But some great derby action going on.
Indeed. We've got Scott Slamilton driven out of bounds by Robert Howard, number 6 of Magic City, and stumbled as he tried to come back in. And that is Michael Bratz, number 27, gets out for lead jammer. Michael Bratz of Magic City finally getting lead jammer again after all those several frustrating jams for Magic City jammers. But Scott Slamilton getting out of the pack, completing his initial pass. Here's Michael Bratz on a scoring pass, gets around Vito Vidivici, and gets around Thunderstruck, who misses with a shoulder check, but Bonus Jonas able to hold him in there. Only 3 points on that, and it's called off by Magic City. So the score now 159 for Puget Sound Outcasts in the yellow, and Magic City Misfits in the green have 93 points. And just a little over 5 minutes left in the game. Things looking grim. Number 44, Michael Cowart, jamming for Magic City against number 23, Quadzilla. Quadzilla quickly up to the front, a 3-wall waiting for him there for Magic City. Number 4, TJ Binkley, just driven out of the way by Corey Payne. But there's Jeremy Strecker teaming up with number 86, Tim Kugler. Jeremy Strecker makes contact, but Quadzilla shrugs him off, gets just speeds around Tim Kugler to get out for lead jammer. Michael Cowart doing pretty well, and fights his way, just barely squeezes past Radillac, staying in bounds. Approaching the pack, now Quadzilla in there, doesn't look behind him. Oh, but he calls off the jam as he gets past his teammates. Michael Cowart, only going to get 1 point. All 4 for Quadzilla, so a 4-1 jam for the Outcasts. And that may very well be it. Now with just 4.5 minutes left on the clock, and that's a 69-point lead for the Outcasts. This may be the end of the game. I don't know if they can pull back from this.
They can certainly still put on a great show with 4 minutes remaining on the clock. We're going to get back into it. Scott Slamilton, number 100, up against number 27, Michael Bratz on the track.
So Magic City looking for a what do you say for Magic City? They're looking for a miracle? I don't know. Is that magic or a miracle? They're going to need some magic right now, but Michael Bratz at the back of the pack. Speed Dealer is going to shut him down so far. Scott Slamilton is lead jammer in control of the clock. and right now that is absolutely critical. Michael Bratz cannot get past Bonus Jonas, who drives him back into the pack just as he saw daylight. Oh, Michael Bratz got to the front, but Ryrod able to drive him out of bounds, and Bonus Jonas drawing him back to the rear of the pack. Scott Slamilton on a scoring pass. John Weichel and Heath Fraser at the front, but they are way out ahead. But they managed to get him out just barely within the engagement zone. And Scott Slamilton casually moving way back. That's Heath Fraser drawing him back almost 3/4 of a lap from where he was. He was way at the front of the pack, at the edge of the engagement zone, and Scotty Slamilton had to draw back all the way to the rear edge of the engagement zone in a very spread out pack. But here comes Michael Bratz, and Scotty Slamilton says, you know what, that's enough for me. I'm going to call off the jam. 4-0 for Puget Sound, and just over 2 minutes left in the game.
Not a bad idea. Still got some Magic City Misfits fans out there. There's a shout out from Kendall Hand on hashtag talk to MRDA. Go MCM. Keep your heads in the game. Stay out of the box and make a comeback. It's going to be real tough with 2:16 remaining on the clock, sitting at 94-167. But Magic City can certainly put some more points up on the board, close up that score gap before we get to the end of the bout. We've got a team timeout going on right now. It's going to be Magic City calling that team timeout. They're probably going to use that last one, too, just to keep the clock from ticking out on them as they continue to try to increase their score.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead and use your timeouts. You know, I mean, every second is a potential. You know, using their timeouts wisely, they can actually potentially pull out 3 jams in the time remaining. But they're gonna have to get lead jammer.
Absolutely,
that's gonna be critical. They have to get lead jammer. No,
and they've only had lead jammer 7 times in the second half, that absolutely does make a difference in getting that score pushed forward.
But they have a 4-on-2 pack advantage, so if they're gonna do it, they have to do it now, and they've got the pack that can potentially do it. Michael Cowart, number 44, jamming for Magic City. Chuck Hendrick, number 247, jamming for Puget Sound. But Corey Payne comes across, forcing Michael Cowart to stay at the rear of the pack. That was Robert Howard screening Chuck Hendrick out of the way, knocking him now it goes to the infield. And there was Michael Cowart, gets lead jammer. That is step 1 in a long series of steps they need to make in order to come back or even come close to Puget Sound. Now on his first scoring pass, Corey Payne easily deflecting him out of bounds. Michael Cowart comes back around, cautiously approaching Corey Payne. Corey Payne stand aside, and Speed Dealer lined up for him. And Corey Payne, though, just all over him, dominating Michael Cowart, forcing him out of bounds. But there goes Chuck Hendrick. It's a power jam for Magic City. So right now, they have hit every single mark they need. And look at that. There goes Corey Payne. Corey Payne, who has been the nemesis of Michael Cowart, but now it is stand aside and Dilly Dally double teaming him. Speed Dealer not even engaged yet, but it looks like a star pass to Jeremy Strecker, number 19. Dilly Dally makes contact. Jeremy Strecker shocked by a shoulder check, but manages to get through. But that is still only going to be their first scoring pass of this half, and that has taken a tremendous amount of time off of the clock. So 5 points so far, less than a minute left on the period clock. They are, and he is not lead jammer. I believe this jam started with 2 minutes 15 seconds, so they're going to need to use their timeout in order to have another jam. But there it is, a second scoring pass, 5 more points, 10 points so far in this jam. So they are doing what they need to do, but giving up, but that may have been a mistake. However, you know what? Looking at what Jeremy Strecker is doing right now, I don't think that was a mistake. That's going to run out of time. 15 points, though, on the board. Michael Cowart all but shut down by the Puget Sound Outcasts. He did get lead jammer, but was unable to get through that first pass. But Jeremy Strecker gets the pass, gets the cap, and comes up with 15 points out of that. And there it is. Magic City using their last timeout to force a last jam. One more jam for Magic City. And, but what's that? That's 58 points that they've got to make in one jam.
That's going to be pretty tough to pull off. But, you know, stranger things have happened in this world. So, yeah, no, I'm not going to call it yet. A really good eye by Meow Mix there. She was already had the tea ready for the refs. I wanted to make sure that clock got stopped ASAP after that jam came to an end.
But Chuck Hendrick did manage to get out of the penalty box. That's another reason that may actually have been. It may actually have been slightly wiser. I mean, it's debatable. It's something that, you know, hey, fans, why don't you debate it? Whether or not they should have done that star pass, because that cost them lead jammer and prevented them from calling it up. And look at that. Chuck Hendrick was able to get out of the penalty box, and that means Quadzilla, they can put in a fresh jammer on the line, on the Ringster jammer line. So now Quadzilla facing off against Michael Cowart again. Michael Cowart did get lead jammer in that previous jam, but was shut down on his scoring passes, and now is getting shut down again by the same skater, Corey Payne, number 19 of the Puget Sound Outcasts. Every single motion matched stride for stride, inch for inch by Corey Payne. And now it looks like Christopher Harrell trying to screen Corey Payne out of the way, but Corey Payne manages to stay in position. And that's some nice bridging, reverse bridging by the Puget Sound Outcasts, allowing Corey Payne to draw Michael Cowart way back there. And there it is. Quadzilla gets lead jammer, calls off the jam, and that is all she wrote. Bangers.
That's going to bring us to an unofficial final of 109 Magic City Misfits, 167 Puget Sound. And I mean, you saw it was a hard-fought game. Great game to be the last game of the evening. I mean, Magic City really coming out there. I think they let Puget Sound get into their head there a little bit too much and weren't able to make that comeback in the second half they were hoping for. And you know, that just happens if you let a team get into your head.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, that was a good little spark towards the end in those last couple of jams, but it was, you know, too little too late. You know, yeah, right around that 12, between like the 12-minute and 7-minute mark in this second half, it looked like at least two of the jammers had just lost their spirit just a little bit. Yeah, I mean they played a fantastic game all the way through, but Puget Sound just seemed to dominate for about 40 minutes of this 60-minute game. And you know, and it's hard to argue with a performance like that, you know. But Magic City, kudos to them.
Absolutely, yeah. Magic City, way to keep playing the game, way to get out there. Congratulations to Puget Sound. This is going to be our last game of the evening here on WFTDA.tv. However, join us tomorrow morning, 8:30 Central, for the first game.